All right, shower is completed. That's not okay.
Oh, I just saw the gnat again.
That's not okay, in my opinion. Oh! Today I will be a plus size influencer who has died. That is crazy.
This video is so raw, you guys. Fuck.
Damn, what a real bitch is that?
Hey there, YouTube. It's me, Hens, and I'm back here with Salty Crab. She's going over Amberlynn's 11th members only live stream, and this is called Tipsy and Spilling All the Tea, Amberlynn's 11th members only stream, bar my summary. So let's get into this video.
See you next week, dainty squirter.
Ew.
I'm leaving.
Ew. Ew. Ugh. Oh my god. Well, I guess I have to add this little clip I got today.
With me and my dainty bush.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and
Hey, Salty.
happy Wednesday. You guys know what day it is. The day where we go over Amberlynn's members only
live
last
stream.
night. Now this was
Yay.
members only stream number
Yay.
11 and we kind of broke a few traditions in this stream.
Oh?
She did not threaten to quit. There wasn't
Oh.
much of a breaking down in tears moment, but there was plenty of insane moments, plenty of yikes moments, lots of her talking shit. She was definitely feeling herself last night and we just need to get into it because it was a lot. So ready? Let's go. So
Let's
she starts off
go.
the stream and immediately I notice she's wearing the "Why are you so obsessed with me" sweatshirt. The sweatshirt that has gotten so much attention that even Torrid took notice.
Yeah.
Apparently, and I don't have proof of this is only what I've heard, but apparently that sweatshirt was on sale at one point for $10 or $15. And so many of the people here in Girl World started buying the sweatshirt, so they upped it to $25 and now it's completely sold out. But this sweatshirt
This feels like Mean Girls, where they were like spreading around the rumor because Regina George started it. It was crazy. But that's kind of what this is giving.
shirt is basically a new side character because it is giving so much content. But anyway, so she's wearing the sweatshirt. She tells us it's going to be another White Claw stream. She's going to be drinking 2 White Claws. We get
Yay.
about 2 minutes in and she already starts texting someone. Now, this whole
Wait.
stream was filled
Who's she texting? Who are you texting, Amber?
with her texting people and needing to take break after break. It was super annoying. But anyway, apparently she is back to saying that she's never going to talk about her love life again. And I'm
That's
just going to
Hecticana.
put this out there. The whole
That
vibe
is
of
so
this stream
Hecticana.
felt so much like when she was secretly dating Emily when they got back together but weren't telling anyone. And I'm not saying that that's what's going on now because I don't know, it doesn't feel very likely.
Well, given the title of her newest video, let's pull it up. My whole relationship was a lie, and I regret ever being in it. Bar, Let's Talk, episode 3, and it's 27 minutes and 59 seconds. Jesus.
But I do feel like it's possible that either they are talking again or there's a new person in Amber's life because the whole stopping to text
Yeah.
every 2 minutes,
Exactly.
saying, I'm never going to talk about my love life again. Like that was all what was happening when she was secretly dating Emily. So
Yeah.
anyway, just wanted to throw that out there.
Agree.
Someone asked her about last week when she rage quit and she says she's already forgotten about that. She must have blocked it.
You've forgotten that you basically robbed your members of one of their 4 live streams from a month. Wow. Good job.
From her memory, she says. She starts talking about her mom and she says, quote, it's so funny when reaction channels are like, I love Mama Lynn. Like, my mom hates you. Okay, she doesn't hate,
Sure.
but she strongly dislikes you. So
Well, that's fine. But I don't dislike her. I dislike some of the things she does. And that's the thing too, is that mostly I don't dislike Amber. I dislike a lot of the stuff she does and how adamant she is that she has a right to do it. That's what I dislike.
have fun with that, which I'm pretty sure that same thing happened with Beck. Amber told them
Because she makes all of the things she does her personality, but then she says it's my personality disorder.
that everyone hated them just so that Beck would hate the viewers in return. So I wouldn't be surprised if Amber's doing that same thing with her mom. So someone mentions Erica and it begins. Amber says, quote, oh, is Erica big mad? Has she been saying stuff I need to know? Like, girl, we know that you know everything that's been said. Give me a break. She says, quote, Erica stays lying. And when someone in chat says, Erica's obsessed with you, she says, quote, I know, and so is Erica's wife. And she like strokes her. She was stroking her hair through this whole stream, like primping and preening and making sure that we all saw the sweatshirt. And I made a note, the smugness is at the absolute peak already in this stream. And everyone who predicted she was going to be over the top smug because of the whole Dakota news and now the Erica and Brittany thing, you guys were completely right. That's exactly how she was. So someone says, talking about Erica, that was crazy that you were the other woman. And Amber says she had no idea. She just had no idea. And I think it dawns on her that we know that you knew, Amberlynn, that you were the other woman. So she decides to lay out the whole Erica timeline. She says they started talking in September of 2023. They became official in February, and her feelings for Erica started in December. And she says, quote, so it was months and months of me like genuinely believing that I was in like a relationship with this person. So it's like, yeah, I kind of do have every right to be upset about it. Like, I was fooled. I was lied to. Like, I have every right to be upset. So then she starts going off on Brittany and says that her jaw was on the floor with the lies that Brittany came up with in the live stream that she did. I think it was a few months ago. She said, quote, she's upset. She's hurt. She's mad. I get it. Like, you were in a marriage with someone.
She's such a condescending bitch. It's crazy. Like, I cannot understand how Amberlynn... Actually, no, I've said how Amberlynn goes through life. It's because she's not in the real world. If she were like this in the real world, somebody would have kicked her ass a long time ago. They literally would have left her in the gutter, beat up for doing this shit, for hitting on their spouse or somebody in front of them in a bar or something like that. You know it would have happened because Amberlynn is that person.
Who was cheating on you every single day. Erica was saying the sweetest things to me. There was a sexual relationship involved single day. Erica was saying the sweetest things to me. There was a sexual relationship involved. Like, there was a promise for the future, like a full-fledged relationship. I get it, Brittany. I would be hurt. I'd be beyond hurt. But the thing is, like, you're taking your anger out on me when you should be taking it out on Erica. And to be honest with you guys, I
Amber, you don't know what she's doing with Erica.
kind of agree with her. Like, I'm not saying what Amberlynn did was okay.
Oh no, I think both of them deserve hell. Like, they don't deserve any peace. They deserve to know no peace. I mean, would somebody who comes into your life and utterly ruins it deserve a good handshake and well wishes at the end of the day from you? Do you really think so?
But if Brittany should be mad at anyone, it should be Erica. So then she starts texting
Well, yes,
again, and
both.
apparently the person she's
Well,
texting has told her something about
Salty. You have to remember, two things can be true at once.
the chat, because she immediately says, quote, all right, so seems there's a problem with someone in the chat. So yes, I'm gonna be, and then I guess she times the person out and she says, okay, the person who just texted me, it's done. It is done. Don't you worry. So she goes back to talking about Erica and she says, quote, I sent, provocative things. Like, I feel used. Like, this is going to sound hecticana, but daily we would have like sexual relationships on video. And it's like, it happened over the phone. I feel like used and abused and I feel gross.
Amber, you need help.
Like, her too, like, genuinely, like, you were in a whole marriage. At first, you and your wife messaged me as a troll, and your wife finally said stop messaging her, and then you continued messaging me, and you fell in love. I'm sorry. The whole situation sucks. I should have walked away. Once I found out the truth, I can admit that and be like, yeah, I'm a fucking dumbass bitch. I should have never done that. And that part I agree with her too. So Amberlynn claims that whenever Brittany would go to work, quote,
Salty, now that was funny.
anytime Erica was alone, we would be on the phone. Anytime Erica was in the car, we would be on the phone. She says that she's willing to review anything Erica or Brittany said because, quote, I have nothing to hide anymore. People hate me regardless. So it's like, there's nothing to hide. There's nothing to lose. Then she's supposedly texting with her lawyer again because after she sends a text, she says, did you guys know today's International Be Kind to Lawyers Day? So you got to be kind to my lawyer. Okay. How about you prove you have a lawyer first, Amber? So then someone in chat brings up what Erica said, the comment that Erica left, all the things that supposedly Amberlynn had said to her about her mom's fiance and how he was, being inappropriate with her allegedly. And Amber acts like she's so confused. And she says she didn't really talk to him about it. She didn't really talk about him to Erica. So then when the chat tells her, well, Erica said you told her he was being creepy with you, Amber acts like shocked and she starts laughing and she says, quote, it has to be someone faking being Erica. It has to be. It has to be. So the chat tells her, like, no, it's been confirmed. This is Erica. And she says, quote, well, someone send it to me. So then she grabs her phone and magically, immediately, it's already there. So you're telling me that you have so many people, sending you messages and screenshots of everything, but no one has sent you that? Okay, yeah, right.
Right. It's so weird. So convenient. But also the fact that, like, so many people are just sending her stuff and she's looking at it. She's reading it, she's looking at the pictures, she's watching the videos. What is wrong with you?
right? And what's funny is she reads for like 5 seconds and she already starts laughing and she's acting like this is the first time that she's ever seen this, which again, there's no way. So then she reads the part about Rarity out loud and she goes, "Oh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, let's go through this whole thing," which I believe was the
Jeez.
whole intent in the first place. But she wanted to act like she was unbothered and she knew that her chat would bring it up. So she wanted to act like, "What? This is the first time I'm seeing this." So again, she reads the claim that she let Rarity loose because she scratched Amber's leg and gave her cellulitis. And Amber says, quote, "Rarity has given me cellulitis. Yes, that's happened before. So this is Erica because of that. But no, I did not let Rarity loose because of that, because this was years and years ago that happened." And she continues, quote, "That's the most psychotic thing I've ever heard in my life.
Or is that the excuse that you used to squat in Emily's house for that long, that you were recovering? And that's why you were always sitting at that one table. You were never filming from different positions in the house, even though you said, "Oh, I can film anywhere in the house." Emily said I can film anywhere.
Miss Rarity every single day that I'm awake and breathing. Go back and watch my videos of when that happened. Literally hyperventilating in my vlogs, missing Rarity. Still to this day, I'm calling the Humane Society, etc., etc. So we know that
No,
ain't real.
I doubt
Do
it.
we though, Amber? Do we? No, but like my whole
I
thoughts
doubt
on
it.
that whole thing, just to sidetrack for a minute, my whole thoughts on it is that I'm gonna need to see more proof
Yeah,
because
that's
getting
true.
info from someone who is an admitted liar, an admitted cheater, someone who only came in the picture because they said they wanted to troll Amberlynn, but then ended up catching feelings for her. And like you guys know, I have been in contact with someone who is very familiar with Erica, and they have also told me that Erica is a liar, and I would not put it past her to make some random shit up about Amber just to get everyone talking. And probably, I would speculate that she probably did it to try to make Brittany happy. You know, I could see
Mm.
her being like, "Oh, don't worry, babe. I'll go spread some stuff about Amberlynn." But anyway, let's continue. So, continuing with the whole, comment from Erica, Amber says that the claim about refusing doctor's orders for skin cream is not real because she's never gotten skin cream for cellulitis. She's only ever gotten antibiotics. About the claims that Erica said Amberlynn told her things about Amber's stepdad, she says that him making inappropriate comments, Amber says that never happened. She says, "Here's the real story. Quote, I didn't wear blush on my face for I can't even tell you how long. And I decided one day to wear blush. My stepdad gave me a sweet compliment about it, and I was
Wait, the real story? Like, wait, but that means she knows what Erica was referencing. That it wasn't just like a general statement. That like she knows what she's talking about. That's weird. That's weird. That makes me think that she talked to her on the phone about it, and that's why there's not a text right there about it. Like otherwise it would have been in the same conversation maybe. But like if they spoke about it, then that would make sense. But interesting. Like that it's not no, that never happened, which is what she first said. It's this is the real story. What? That's weird. That's weird.
I was like, "Oh, I don't know how I feel about the blush." But then when I got a compliment, I was like, "Wow, that's cool." So I came home after bingo, called Erica, and Erica's like, "So how was bingo?" And I was like, "Oh my God, so I'm wearing blush today for the first time." And my stepdad said he liked it. And she says Erica went insane over that. Apparently got super jealous.
That's weird. That's weird. I don't know if I believe that because we also know Amberlynn is the controlling and jealous one usually. So, and she does like them to be like that as well. She likes her partners to feel controlling over her because she likes to feel claimed. But at the same time, I don't think that that was going to be happening from a few states away over the phone. I don't think that was going to be happening.
Jealous, I guess, or maybe jealous is the wrong word, possessive maybe. Amber claims that she has text messages she can show where Erica went crazy because I
Do
guess
it.
someone was standing too close to Amber at the grocery
Do it.
store, and she says that quote Erica's a fucking psycho. She then goes back to reading the comment from Erica.
And show the messages. You don't have any problem showing other things.
And when she reads the part where Erica claims that Amber's stepdad touched her leg, Amberlynn says that never happened. Him staring down her shirt at bingo, Amber says that never happened either. She again says Erica is psychotic and would be jealous at anything. She says one time she was at Trader Joe's and Erica told her to send her a picture of her cart to prove that she was actually at Trader Joe's. And apparently in the picture, you could see someone standing close to Amber's cart. And Erica says, "That's not your mom's legs." And I guess Erica, quote, freaked the fuck out on her. And Amber says that when Erica would get jealous, she thought it was someone actually caring about her and that the jealousy was actually love because, quote, she was never loved as a kid.
Bitch. No, it's what I said. She likes the feeling because it's possessive. She feels like she's being claimed, like it's somebody really wants her. They want her more and want to take her away from other people. I think that's why she fetishizes being a mistress.
I know she's kind of making a general statement, but that's quite a statement to make. I'm not sure I would agree with that, but anyway, let's continue. So then, regarding the comment about Twinkie having to give Amber her paw before Amber will feed her, Amber says that it's just a cute little trick that she makes Twinkie
No.
do. She reads the part about where Twinkie is still pissing in the bathroom, and Amber says that never happened. She says that's just Erica taking a rumor
Why didn't you just teach Twinkie to use a litter box?
and trying to make it seem real, just
Chihuahuas, especially girl chihuahuas, can use them.
like how Brittany got on a live stream and claimed Amber had boils and purple legs. So then she gets to the part of the comment about her fighting with her mom over her stepdad. And Amber said, me and my mom do not fight. That's not something we do. And she says that she's never yelled at her mom in the car. Okay, so about the whole tooth thing and the dentist, Amber says that it is true about the cracked half tooth. And she says that it is painful on and off and that she has not gone to the dentist about it. Shocker.
Why?
She reads the part about
Why
how
not?
Erica said that Amber's just acting this way all over a sweatshirt. And she says, quote, okay, Erica, now you're acting just fucking dense. Your wife Brittany talks about me on her little Instagram ad nauseum. She's obsessed with
How do you know that?
me, and her getting a certain sweatshirt is just proving it more and more that she watches me. She watches content about me, and you're obsessed with me. She's obsessed with me. That's why you both trolled me, but you fell in love because you saw who I really am, and now you're making me psychotic because you're sitting here lying about shit. So she reads the part where Eric
Jesus, that's cringe. Amber, what? What? You said this on live stream. What the fuck?
says, you won't ever change. And she says, quote, maybe, and maybe I will, but I know one thing. I know for one thing, you're always going to be a disgusting cheater. Thank you. That's one thing I will never be. So fuck you. Which I'm
Wow.
pretty sure you did admit to cheating in the past, Amber. But
Yep.
anyway, regarding the part where Erica says that Amber digs her claws into every fiber and breath of a person, Amber says, quote, this is the most manipulated comment I've ever seen someone do in the whole entire world. So that's that. Reaction over. Maybe that's how I should start ending all my videos. Just say, and that's that, reaction over. Amber says that what always pisses her off is when people lie about her and says, quote, have you guys noticed that like Beck has even said some really embarrassing things and awful things about me? But since they're true, I've never popped off. And yes, it sucks to hear those type of things being said about you that are true. But I've only ever been pissed at the lies. And that is not true, Amber. First of all, you would barely admit to the things that Beck said that are true, but
That's
a lot
true.
of those you have gotten pissed about and you have, quote, popped off about. And you have even lied about the situation yourself. I did a whole video on it. So someone in the chat tells her that, you know, you really need to go to a dentist. And she has a whole story about why she doesn't go. She says, quote, it's just like a tooth that hurts on and off because when I got my wisdom tooth pulled, they were like, I'm going to take like half this tooth as well. And I was like,
What?
okay, like, I don't know. And then I
What? What?
think them taking like half of it because they were trying to protect it and they saw that it was like broken off a little bit, like made it worse. I don't know how any of that makes sense. And so then someone in the chat like rightfully questions why a dentist would take half a tooth
Yeah, like why wouldn't they like at least fill it or at least give you a crown? What?
and just leave the other half there. And she says that it happened during the Jade era. And she says, quote, I know. And they were so sweet. That was when I was with Feline. And even like Feline didn't say anything at the time because like genuinely
Wait, you only had your wisdom teeth out when you were like 30 something? What? What? Amber, what? Is that normal? I had mine out like junior year of high school.
she was holding my hand because my whole body was shaking. Like I was so scared. And like literally afterwards, like at the time she didn't say anything, but afterwards when we were in the car on the way home, she was like, did they really take half of your tooth? I was like, yeah, I don't know. She has such a way with words, doesn't she, guys? Okay, so now someone in the chat says, are we going to talk about Dakota? And before we get into all of that, I don't know if anyone cares what I have to say, but I just wanted to put my personal opinion out there. The whole Dakota situation really honestly sickened me. I think I am one of the only, if not the only, reactors who have children who are the age that were being targeted by Dakota. And I use the word targeted as an opinion.
Okay, I'm here for Salty's opinion.
I feel like she was targeting them. And just the thought that someone who is a full-grown adult would be targeting children who are the same age as my children, seriously grosses me out completely. And that's
Mm-hmm.
putting it mildly. An adult taking advantage of the immaturity, like, because don't forget, okay, we're not talking about like 16, 17-year-olds. Not that that would make it any better, but 13 and 14-year-olds are pretty much still children. And someone taking advantage of how easily they trust people. And
I would argue they very much are children. Like 12, 13, 14, you're still like a child. That's the transitionary period into being a teenager.
how
It
little
used to be called a tween.
they know about just how evil this world really is and using that for their own benefit. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it made me want to throw up. And it is my personal opinion that that type of thing does not just go away with time. And I sincerely hope that Dakota gets help, that she gets the help that she needs, and whatever pictures are up of these children that she still has up on these websites, please go and take them down. These people are now adults and they have to live with the fact that this information that they sent to someone, trusting that person, is still online and available to be read. Like,
Jeez.
I'm sorry, it really gets me hated thinking about it. So anyway, Dakota, I hope you go get whatever help that you need. I personally do not feel like this reflects on Beck if what Beck said is true, and at this point I don't have any reason to doubt them. But if they knew nothing about this, then I don't feel like what Dakota did should be held against Beck. Now, if new information comes out, that's a different story. But at this point, I feel that Beck did the right thing by ending the relationship. I know some people have speculated if that is true or not. Again, at this point, we have no reason to doubt what Beck said, and I sincerely hope that they told the truth because I think they did the right thing, and I hope that they are doing okay. And I think it was a very good idea for them to take a break from the internet and process this huge life change that they're going through. And anyway, I wish them well. So let's get back to the
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, and I haven't watched all of the stuff. I said I need to watch the Beck video first and then watch some more information about the stuff that Dakota was doing. But let me just preface before we even get any further by saying I very much do not support anything that even resembles what Dakota did from what Salty described. Like the very idea of messaging of an adult messaging children for any reason, let alone to gain intimate information about them to post publicly or to use for their own gratification, I don't support that. And as a teenager, I experienced a lot of that kind of attention from random adults. Yeah.
summary. So about Dakota, Amber says that it left her stomach feeling queasy, and she said, quote, I understand I had a mutual friend with Destiny. Libby was 16. And imagine, as I'm saying this, Amber using the tone of voice to kind of make it sound like this was no big deal. I'm just saying that's my opinion, how she was speaking. But anyway, she says, I understand I had a mutual friend with Destiny. Libby was 16 and I was 25. I'm fully aware, but I've never, because a lot of people are throwing around the PDF of it all, and that's why I have a lawyer, trust me.
Well, but that's the thing is that that's exactly why it's inappropriate. The exact same reason that it's wrong for you is the same reason and it's the exact same feeling that I have in the pit of my stomach about everything that I've heard so far. It makes me fucking disgusted. And I don't want to really get into it.
Me, and that's why I don't speak on this topic, because it is like one of the most hectic kind of things that have ever been said about me. I have never and would never have a relation with a minor like that. That is disgusting. That is illegal. That is fucking awful. She says, quote, I don't really want to speak on it because it's so awful, and I do feel bad for Beck. I do, because it's like, that's your fiance type deal. Like, I know they're not broken up. Yeah, this is one thing Amber said, which blew my mind. She says, quote, I know they're not broken up. I will be very honest about that. There's no way that Beck broke up, mainly because I know some stuff about Beck. We're not going to get into it, but
How would you know? Beck broke up with your dumbass.
let's just say, do you guys remember the 4-letter name? And what she's talking about is there was a live stream a few weeks ago where Amber was alleging that Beck did something illegal. And Amber said that all she would have to do is text Beck this 4-letter name and, I don't know, it would get Beck to shut up or something like that. So she's bringing that up again, and she's using that as a way to say that she knows for sure that Beck and Dakota didn't break up. I don't know. I don't know how that relates, but she says, quote, that's all I'm going to put out there. I feel bad for Beck. Beck. She says, quote, Beck went from being like, okay, and by the way, this was so smug. The way she said this was so smug. Quote, Beck went from being like literally queen, king, whatever, like with a crown, like everyone
What the
loved them.
fuck?
And now all of a sudden it's like, whoa, like your fiance is an actual like PDF. That's some sad energy there. Honestly, it felt to me like Amber was reveling in the news.
Such a telling reaction that you're not utterly disgusted and just like repulsed by the very information of it all. You are reveling and gloating in somebody else's potential pain. You're enjoying this. And this is as somebody who claims that they are a survivor. But that's the thing. She doesn't have the mentality of somebody who like thinks about other survivors and thinks about mitigating her impact on them, or even her impact on herself and how she feeds into her own cycle, like, and her own emotions. She doesn't deal with them, she just stuffs them down with food, and she's going to do it again after the stream, I'm betting.
And taking joy out of Beck's situation. And it felt really gross. So then she says, quote,
Oh wait, we know she did, right? Wasn't the video from yesterday after her live stream? So we know she did.
sort of weird sadness, but I also feel some sort of like, Dakota, you're fucking sick and you've been sick and you've been a weirdo from the jump. So that's that. Then she says she thinks it's crazy that, quote, reaction channels are like low key sticking up for Dakota. And I'm like, okay, well,
No,
you're
they're
just
not.
proving more and more how hypocritical, like contradictive, like psychotic, biased, non nuanced, like lack critical thinking brains that I've ever seen.
Who is? Who? Not me. Remember when I said I trust that whatever Beck says is at least their truth, and if they don't know anything, they don't know anything, and that they'll find out if their fiance is a creep. And guess what? They did. So what? What, Amber?
In my life, which I would love to hear some names. Amber, who the fuck are you saying is sticking up for Dakota? Like, that is a huge allegation to make. Can you tell us who you're talking about? And then we get the ceiling. When she comes back, she immediately starts texting again. Someone in the chat tells her that she looks like she's been punched, I guess because of her makeup. And she says, quote, I have been punched, but not anytime recently, which in my opinion is her just breadcrumbing the chat, hoping that they'll, pick up on what she said and ask her about it. She does it all the time. And sure enough, someone takes the bait. They ask her, when was the last time she was punched? And she giggles and says, quote, are we going by years? Do I say what year it was? 2016, I think, 2015, 2016, something like that. Which you would think that if that did happen to her, that would be something that she would remember exactly when it happened, but apparently not. Someone says, didn't Feline lay you out like a turtle on its back? And she starts laughing and says, quote, not quite, no. And apparently she realized what had just happened. Someone asked her about alleged DV that she experienced, and she laughed about it. And she says, quote, sorry, I laugh at uncomfortable things, and that just made me really uncomfortable.
No. Like, you can tell just from the screenshot, that was not an uncomfortable laugh. That was a genuine laugh. She thought it was funny.
Okay. So then she looks down at her sweatshirt and seems to remember what she really wanted to talk about in this stream, because she starts talking about Erica again.
Jesus
she says,
Christ.
quote, so this was before I knew that Erica was still married
God.
for real and that they were in a relationship. She says, they were at the pool. Erica took a picture of these two girls in bathing suits. She sent me the picture, and I mean, they were sprawled out like turtles on their back. And weeks later, I found out one of them was the wife, and I had never seen the wife before because I thought they didn't hang out, and I thought they were just married for financial. Isn't that like the craziest thing? Like, I don't understand. Amber, I don't get what's so hard to understand.
Yes, it's the craziest thing that you believe that.
And she lied to you. She lied to you, and she lied to her wife, allegedly. What are you not grasping? Okay, so then in news we never needed to know, she says, quote, know what else was crazy is Erica bought the same vibrator as me and hid it in her closet, which...
Ew. Twinsies.
I was really confused because I was like, why are you hiding it if you and your wife have
Jinx, you owe me a vibrator.
2 different bedrooms and you guys are like single technically? They had this whole argument because Brittany found the vibrator. Again, no one needed to know any of that, Amber. It's not even a story that makes you look good. It makes you look either really dumb or that you're lying about not knowing, because you even say, I don't understand. Why would you have to hide it? Hello? Then Miss Dramatic Lynn says, quote, I was living a telenovela for real. And then for God only knows what reason.
I doubt you've ever seen a telenovela because you don't understand even basic plot lines in English. let alone in Spanish or with subtitles.
Asks her about the vibrator, and she says, quote, "Oh, my vibrator's pink. You guys think I can't reach? That's a rumor. Like, stop being fat phobic. Like, I would get up and show you, but this is not OnlyFans." And then someone who clearly hates us all then asks, "Is the vibrator waterproof?" And Amber starts
Ew.
cracking up and says, she doesn't know. Thank you, God. Whether she's lying or not, just thank you for not answering that. So then she cracks open the second White Claw, and the chat starts making jokes about Amber drinking White Claws because she's like skinty now. And Amber says, quote, "You guys, I'm literally the fattest one in the room, always at all times." And she starts laughing about it. She says that the
What
only
the
time she
fuck?
felt, quote, so at home was when
That's
she went to the
literally not funny. That's not funny in any way. What?
meeting for all the people who wanted to get weight loss surgery from Dr. Smith. And she says that it was, quote, "so many of us in one room. I felt so seen. I didn't feel judged. And it felt really good just to be in a room of like the same type of bodies. It felt great." So then we get the ceiling again.
I'm so sorry. I'm evil and going. I was already going to hell, but like, when she said that, I just pictured a herd of cows. I'm from California, and we grew up with commercials about California cheese.
Yeah, trust me on this one, man. The babes out here are different.
How come?
I don't know. All the sunshine, I guess. Clean air, good food, something. They just really take care of them. Aw, yeah. Hey, you work out?
Great cheese comes from happy cows.
Oh my god. And they used to have all of the commercials with the cows, and they would talk to each other, and then it was a whole thing.
And because I guess Amber says a Twinkie can't get on
Real
the couch by
California
herself, and she
cheese.
needs help from Amber. And for whatever reason, that means that Amber has to turn the camera away. She can't show us her helping Twinkie. And then
What?
immediately back to texting again. Someone questions Amber about how, how can you feel tipsy or drunk off of just a few White Claws? And Amber says, "There's more things that take into account besides body weight." And apparently that question really pissed her off, because then she timed that person out and says, "I hate people who just like dismiss what I have to say like I'm some freaking loser. Like, stop dismissing me, please. Thank you." So then someone suggests, let's play Truth or Drink, and Amber agrees to it. And the first question is, what is your favorite nickname for an ex in Gorl World? Now, Gorl World is not just Amberlynn, right? It's Foodie
Right.
Moody and possibly a few others. So she could have
Right.
said any nicknames for any exes of Chantal or someone else, but no, she immediately knows the nickname that she wants to say. But she hesitates answering it because she says, "You guys are going to say I'm body shaming, I'm fat shaming, and I'm literally not. I'm fat." Because apparently, according to her, the rule is if you're fat too, then it doesn't count. It's not considered body shaming or fat shaming, I guess. So then she starts cracking up, and she says her favorite nickname for an ex is Necky, which I'm not surprised about because of
You're
course
such
she
a
chooses
little
Beck as the one to mock. And of course, it'd be the part of Beck's body that they're most self-conscious of.
That's why she doesn't leave her house, because somebody would literally kick her ass.
And
I'm
then
so
someone says,
sure.
"Well, Dusty was a pretty good nickname." And she agrees and says, "Yeah, but Density was better." And she starts laughing again. So are nicknames funny now, Amber? Can we start calling you Amberlynn? Or is it only funny when it's aimed at people that you don't like? I'm just
I liked the one that I came up with, La Hamburguesa,
wondering. I'm just asking. Because apparently,
because that's how you would pronounce it in Spanish. Hamburguesa.
if we give her nicknames, it's a huge problem. But if it's other people getting the nicknames, it's hilarious. So then some weirdo in the chat, I'm just kidding. Someone asked her, what's the craziest place she's hooked up in the past 5 years? And she says that
Ew.
she can't say. She won't tell us why she can't say. She just says she can't say, but
That means it was probably in public.
it was crazy. Then she immediately starts getting text messages and reads them and just busts out laughing. Again, making me question, is she talking to Emily again? I don't know. And someone in the chat says, "Girl, we all know it was the Jeep." And oh God, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, y'all. She says, quote, "That did happen, but
Jesus Christ. How did I know?
it's worse than that." And I'm not sure why she's using the word worst to describing a place that she hooked up. So then she's asked, "Truth or Drink, do you think you're prettier than Dakota?" And she says, quote, "Automatically, since actual PDF, yes. Like, she became a million times uglier. So that's that." The texting is getting pretty annoying at this point, which, by the way, she knows that her viewers don't like it when she's texting during the members only streams because she said that in the past. She knows that people hate it, but she keeps doing it anyway for some reason. And then finally, someone asks her the question that we have all wanted to know. Does she know what ad nauseum means? And she says, to my surprise, quote, "Ad nauseum is just like, so if I'm gonna say, oh, I told you guys about this ad nauseum, it's me saying that I said it so many times, like it's
If you're defining a word, you don't use it in a sentence. What the fuck? You don't define a word by using the word.
making me nauseous. That's not really what it means, but that's pretty much what it means. So then
God
someone asks, well,
damn.
who taught you that word? And she says, quote, I've always known that word. I just get like obsessed with words where I can't stop saying them. You don't say. So then the worst person in the world asks her, truth or drink, squirt, question mark. And she says, quote, what does that mean? Do I squirt? That's hectic. I have like a little dainty one from my dainty bush. Ugh,
With me and my dainty bush.
just saying that made me want to. Are you guys still with me? Is everyone still with me? That was a lot. I'm sorry. I should have warned you. Let's just move on like it never happened. Okay, so then someone asks her if she would do a panel with all of her exes, and she says yes, but I highly doubt that she would. You know, it's easy to say yes to something that is
Oh
probably
my
never going to
God.
happen. Then she goes into this long diatribe about how she's got nothing to hide, and being on YouTube has been liberating because it's made her think about things she's done and how she wants to work harder to heal. And she knows she's not a bad person. She's just a good person who's done bad things. And she starts to get upset and tear up, but then she just stops herself and says, we're not crying on this stream, folks. And immediately goes back to her normal self.
You see what I mean, though? Amberlynn has said over and over again, her actions are the result of her unchecked emotions and mental illness. But then she also says that her mental illness is actually her personality, because her personality disorder is her personality, but then her actions are not her. Make that make any sense?
Laughing, which I thought she couldn't. You know what? Never mind. Then she answers a few questions, and then we get the ceiling again. She comes back, she answers a few more questions, like who's your celebrity crush and all of that. And then someone asks, is your bush actually dainty?
Jesus
and she says,
Christ.
quote, yeah, I'm dead ass. All my exes said that. And someone says, well, did they actually use the word dainty? And she says, quote,
Was it just dainty relative to your fupa?
well, the way that Destiny, I'm not doing this. I can't. But I just want you to know that my exes did think, it's a very nice, I'm done with this convo. Which, thank you, Jesus. Like, whoever shut her mouth at that moment, thank you, because I did not need to hear the end of that sentence. Okay, so then we get an actually good question that has nothing to do with anything dainty. Someone asked if she actually saw a ghost in the hallway when Beck needed help with the groceries. I don't know if you guys remember that story, but Beck said that one time Amber used the excuse that she saw a ghost and that's why she couldn't help Beck with the groceries. And she says, quote, okay, so when Beck said that I didn't want to get up to help with the groceries and I saw a ghost, genuinely true story. There was a ghost and I wanted nothing to do with it. This was in my bedbound era, okay? I did not want to get up, okay? My mattress was on the floor. And then she said, well, I don't believe in ghosts. I didn't actually see a ghost. See, what the situation was, I saw a figure. I saw a little shadow person. It was a shadow person. Girl, I would have
What
just
the
stopped saying it
fuck?
was a ghost. Shadow person makes you sound crazy. So then we get more stealing because she has to go to the
No,
bathroom.
actually, shadow person makes it sound like a demon, not like a spirit.
And she says she's gonna clean the litter box because I guess Wasabi just used it. Okay, sure.
But spiritual Lynn, she knows. Mistress Lynn, she understands the universe. It speaks to her.
When she comes back, we get a bunch of TV talk. She starts talking about someone from Survivor who was like her aunt's uncle's sister.
When I was scrubbing through for the thumbnail, I deadass thought that this was supposed to be a picture of Erica. I shit you not. I was like, what the fuck? Why is she showing a picture of Erica?
Ex. I have no clue. I'm sorry. Something about how she went to the same school as Winona Ryder. Again, I don't know.
Who cares?
Netflix, Redbox, pretty boring. She takes another break to help Twinkie onto the couch again, and someone in the chat suggests maybe get some pet steps for her. And she says that when she was in Wisconsin, Emily got some pet steps for Twinkie, but they were different or something. I don't know. I don't know what that means.
You can buy them. That's what they're saying. You with all your money can buy them.
And she says Twinkie couldn't process how to actually go up the steps to get onto the bed.
I doubt it.
So they tried to train her with treats.
Twinkie has literally gone up and down stairs before. She knows how to do it.
But I guess nothing worked. So then someone asked, what jobs has Amber had outside of YouTube? And she says that her first job was when she was 17 and she was working at a Boys and Girls Club for second graders. Then she says that she would go around selling Cutco knives. Then she was a PCA worker, which we all saw that when she was with Destiny. So I guess it sounds like she only had like 2 very short-lived jobs before she got with Destiny at age, 25? And then she says she had the data entry job. She says that when
When Destiny was 19. Just Don't forget that.
As a teenager, she would do babysitting gigs and would clean people's houses for money. Then it's time for more oracle readings, except for this time she says she's not going to say anything about it. She's just going to pull the card out and say what it is. So much fun, right, guys? She did that for like 15 minutes, and I'm not going to bore you guys with the details because it happened exactly how it sounded. She'd say, okay, this is for Susan, and she'd pull a card out and say, oh, Susan, you got new beginnings, or whatever. And then just go on to the next person. After that, she starts talking about 90 Day Fiance, and she says that someone from the show, quote, without a doubt has BPD. Like, there's genuinely no chance that she doesn't. She has BPD 1,000 million %, which I thought she hates it when people diagnose her, but apparently she can do it to someone else. Okay.
You're not a verified professional, from what I know. Are you, Dr. Lynn? Dr. Lynn, medicine woman? Dr. Lynn, mental specialist?
She goes on about this Jasmine
The mentalist
person, and she says that Jasmine, quote, freaks out and has these crying tantrums is what you call them. So fast, so quick, so easy. And she says, I know to like the average viewer, you're probably like, this girl's insane. And Amber says that she can relate to that and that she has moments where she cries crazy hectacana like that. And then she says, I guess that this person, Jasmine's partner, lies a lot and does things that Amber apparently feels makes it valid for Jasmine to act that way, which completely contradicts what she's been saying
exactly
lately, but okay.
What?
And that's pretty much the end of the stream. It was 2 hours and 6 minutes. As per usual, like the best was the very beginning, probably like the first 45 minutes. After that, it was pretty boring. I think Amber knew that she wanted to talk about Eric and Brittany and Dakota, and that was her main goal. And after she got that out of the way, that's when she just kind of like coasted through the rest of the stream, answering questions that she's already answered before and, you know, doing the oracle readings. I personally feel like she does those just to waste time to get to the 2 hour mark. But the chat, I will say the chat does seem to like them. So, I mean, okay. But yeah, she was just super smug and arrogant and just kind of like acting like she was above everyone else. Very similar to last week, but even more so, if you can believe it. Like I said, it almost felt like she took joy in what came out about Dakota, which I hope not, because if she did, that's really disgusting. There are, in my opinion, actual victims in that situation, Amber. No one should be taking any kind of joy or pleasure in that. But anyway, that was the 11th members only stream summary. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. I'm sure you guys have a lot of thoughts. Make sure you tell them to me in the comments. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to...
Yes, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, and leave a crab or your favorite seafood boil item. And be sure to leave a like and subscribe to Salty Crab. I'll leave her video linked in the description. Thanks. Talk to you later. But like I said, I will address the Beck Dakota situation maybe tomorrow, probably Saturday morning, if I'm being realistic. Realistic. Talk to you guys later. Bye.